Hey Magic fans, here is your Let's Talk Magic game day preview brought to you in association with Attraction Tickets, the UK's leading ticket supplier for all attractions in Orlando. We are looking at tonight's game, the regular season game 19 for the Orlando Magic, where we take on the Washington Wizards. The Wizards stand in the path of the Magic and a team equaling record of 9 consecutive wins. It's another battle in the paint that awaits, and in this final night of the 6-game homestand and the first night of a back-to-back, it is not an easy game again. The venue, as we say, is the Amway Centre. Tip time UK is midnight, local in Orlando is 7 p.m. So to watch here in the UK, you will need an active NBA League Pass subscription. That's to watch online, live or on demand. Let's talk Magic, as we always do first. It's a regular season record of 13-5, which is the third best record in the NBA. We have won 8 games on the trot, which is the longest active winning streak in the NBA. We are 9-1 in our last 10 games played. At home, we are 8-2. If you wish to, as David Steele has continually pointed out, let's talk it as 8-1, because technically the home court loss to Atlanta was played in Mexico City. So in the Amway Centre, we are 8-1. Second standing clear in the East, and currently points per game have taken a fantastic leap. 114.1, which is 14th in the NBA. Against, we've taken a slight hit again, not a huge amount, but we're down to 108.1 points conceded per game, which is 5th in the NBA. Our offensive rating has jumped up to 17th, and we are now 2nd in the defensive rankings. A win tonight, as we say, will tie the team's longest winning streak in franchise history. A run of 9 consecutive wins has happened 3 times previously for the Magic. The last occasion being the 23rd of December 2010 through to the 8th of January 2011. Also did it November 12th 94 through December 2nd 94, and the January 30th 2001 through 18th February 2001. The Magic continued their fluid attacking groove that they have found, jumping ahead in their season statistics again. A season high field goal percentage against the Wizards last time out of 60.7%. That continues now a 5-game streak where the Magic have shot over 50% or better. That ties again the second longest streak in this team's 35-year history. The longest came in 94, which was 8 games. In this run of wins, it was the 4th occasion where we have conceded 116 points or more, which is, it's half the winning streak, fully accept that. Those high scores have come at the hands of Indiana, Denver, Charlotte and now Washington. Each are very, very free-scoring teams. The defensive statistics, however, remain excellent. Jalen Suggs remains the 4th best defensive rated player in the NBA. Paolo is the 17th, Joe Ingles the 20th. The team stats are also top 5 in many areas, including being second in steals made per game, opponent assists, and the total field goal attempts by an opponent. We are keeping those figures very low. Orlando are forcing the most opponent turnovers per game, along with the fewest opponent total and offensive rebounds. These are great stats. Our scoring leader is now Franz Wagner, who has jumped up to 20.2 points per game on the back of 2 30-plus point games. Paolo is 2nd with 19.1, and 3rd on the team leading the bench is Cole Anthony, who has jumped up to 15.6 points per game. At 13 points per game, Jalen Suggs is seeing his scoring contributions growing also. Paolo Banchero leads the team on assists. Jalen Suggs is the leader on steals, with still the 3rd best figure in the NBA per game. And Goga Bitadze leads our team in blocks per game, which is 14th in the NBA. So last game out, we took on the Washington Wizards. Tonight's opponents were our last opponents, and Orlando had to settle themselves again defensively at half-time to beat the Wizards, who were a stubborn opponent. We took the game 120 to 139. Season high scoring for the Orlando team, along with season high in field goal percentage, as we've already mentioned, 60.7, 3-point percentage, and fantastic 63% from the three, and we dished out a season high 34 assists. The Wizards, as I say, were a dogged opponent who didn't give up. They mounted continuous comebacks to cut into any Orlando lead. They were helped by some careless plays by Orlando, without a doubt. See, we saw high numbers of turnovers and personal fouls. However, the game was somewhat over by the start of the final period, and many starters on both teams did not play during that final period. Franz Wagner, he led the team, recorded a 31-point game in less than 31 minutes played. That was his season best. He continually scored in transition and was fantastic at getting into that paint. Aside from Wagner, Cole Anthony put in 25 points on the back of 30 points the previous game. Jalen Suggs, 22, Joe Ingles, 12, and Mo Wagner, 12, all scoring in double figures. That's the 18th straight game that Orlando have had 5 players or more scoring double figures. The Magic bench, they outscored the Wizards by 65 to 44. Starting unit was once again Anthony Black, Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero and Goga Bitadze. From the bench, Cole Anthony, Gary Harris, Mo Wagner, Joe Ingles and Caleb Houston came. We also saw cameo appearances towards the end from Admiral Schofield and Chuma Okeke. So tonight, the Magic injury report does have one additional name, and that is Paolo Banchero. He is listed as day-to-day with an ankle issue, but is probable to play. Jonathan Isaac, as before, is listed as questionable with a left ankle soreness. Wendell Carter Jr., Markel Fultz, Kayvon Harris, Jet Howard, Trevelyan Queen, they are all out for Orlando for various reasons, be it injury or assignment to the G League. If Paolo is good to go, then it's hard to see there being any great changes in the early rotations for the Magic. However, this being the first night of a back-to-back, we could see some cameos again from the end of the bench guys, just to supplement minutes along so as nobody gets overtired. We go on to the Washington Wizards. We in our previous game preview, we covered their off-season, so I'm not going through that again. Their season now is a record of 3 wins and 15 losses. They've won only one of their last 10 games played. They stand 14th in the East, but they are still a free scoring team, scoring 116.3 points per game, which is 8th in the league. However, having shipped 139 against us, it saw the scoring against them drop to the 30th, to the last rated in the NBA, conceding 124.8 points per game. Defensively, they are ranked last, 30th in the league, and offensively, surprisingly, considering how free scoring they are, only 22nd. The offence, as we said and we saw, is based on attacking inside the arc and moving the ball. They shoot the 4th most field goal attempts in the league, making the 3rd most. Inside the arc, 60 attempts per game, making 32. However, after the last outing and conceding 139 points, as we say, their defensive rating has dropped back by 3 places to the last. They are pretty much last or bottom of the bottom 3rd of the league in every defensive category. Kyle Kuzma, as we said before, he is putting together a nice season, and we saw him play well against us. He is their team's leading scorer with 23.4 points per game. He is also providing a joint team lead for assists at 4.8 and supplementing that with 6.1 rebounds. Jordan Poole, he's following up 17.4 points per game, settling in nicely as a scoring option alongside Kuzma. Tyus Jones, he ties Kuzma with 4.9 assists per game as the team leader. We saw Daniel Gafford, he provides an inside presence on both ends of the court. He leads the team per game on rebounds at 7.4. He's rated 7th in the league for blocks per game, taking 2 a game. And he is also on the NBA's 6th best offensive rating. we can't underestimate them. We can't underestimate them. So last time round, we've already looked at this from a Magic perspective in the win over Washington. But so we'll quickly just touch on it from the Wizards side of things. 28 assists and 14 steals were two very, very positive stats for the Wizards. Kuzma, he had 23 points. Denny Avdija, he got a block. He was just one back with 22 points, and Jordan Poole, he scored 19. Corey Kispert, bench leader, 13 points, and they got a solid 10-point performance off the bench from Eugene Omo Rui. There you go. I'll get there. He closed out the double-digit scoring. Starting five: Tyus Jones, Jordan Poole, Denny Avdija, Kyle Kuzma and Daniel Gafford. And we saw Danilo Gallinari, Landry Shamet, Bilal Kubilali come on and provide solid minutes for them. Tonight, the Wizards have the same two out injured, Delon Wright and Ryan Rollins. Barring any late withdrawal, expect the same five who started against Orlando on Wednesday night to go again. Head to head, I'm not going to go over this too much. It's 136 games played in the regular season. The Magic stand leading at 76-60 and are on a 3-game winning streak. As I said before, the teams are swapping streaks. We win several, they win several. So we'll see how this goes. Final thoughts. Being the first night of a back-to-back and against a team that the Magic beat with time to spare in the last game, it would be ideal if the Magic could put the Wizards to bed early. As before, this game is going to be a battle of two teams who attack the paint and force opponent turnovers. Last time round, we highlighted how close these two teams are on 2-point field goal attempts, scoring in the paint. Washington and Orlando are both exceptional at getting points from turnovers, rated 3rd and 1st. Orlando leading the league in that category. Orlando, as we say, remains 2nd in steals per game. Washington are a strong and capable 9th, as we saw. It's difficult to not reiterate some key areas when you play a team 2 nights consecutively. But the hustle plays are such an important stat for Orlando that they are the things that you're probably going to be looking at that make the difference. Charges taken, deflections, loose balls recovered, and the box outs, all of which the Magic are ranking well in. So, just one other thought before we wrap this up. Being a back-to-back, I thought we'd just have a quick look at comparison this season and last season. So far this season, we have, on the first night, won 1, lost 2. Second night, won 2, lost 1. Last season, the first night of a back-to-back, we won 6, lost 7. Second night, we lost all but 1 of the 13 we played. This is an area where the Magic had to improve, and it would appear so far they are making strides. So let's not get carried away by this run. Let's not forget that the Utah Jazz and the New Orleans Pelicans both started well last season and faded. But that's no reason not to enjoy this ride whilst we are on it. Win 13 for the Orlando Magic last season did not come until December the 23rd, which was match day 34. Number 14, which is the win we are after tonight, was January the 4th, game day 38. Magic, let's get this 9th consecutive win and tie that team's longest winning franchise. If you've enjoyed this preview, please give it a thumbs up, share it, do what you will with it. But more importantly, go Magic and let's get that W.